highlighting history of suburban Sydney with the St Peter's Cooks River History Group.
Our aim is to preserve and promote local history.
We are based at St Peter's in Sydney's inner west.
Camperdown in Sydney's inner west is largely occupied by the University of Sydney, residential colleges within the university and the Royal Prince Alfred Hospital.
In 1792, Major Francis Grose was granted land along the Parramatta Road. The site was later used to raise food for government stock, to accommodate convicts working on the roads and private farming.
In 1806, Governor William Bligh was granted land in the area. Early maps show it as being called alternatively Camperdown and Copenhagen. Both of these names were from naval battles which Bligh had fought in. Bligh also had a property called Copenhagen near Windsor, possibly causing confusion with the names. Camperdown was the one which survived to give the suburb its name.
The Camperdown estate was subdivided in 1841.
University of Sydney was established in 1852. Buildings were constructed on 120 acres of gross farm. As well as university buildings, major Christian denominations established residential colleges. The Great Hall opened in 1859.
When the university's War Memorial Carillon was dedicated on Anzac Day 1928, Bligh Street was renamed Carillon Avenue.
Moore College, which had been established at Liverpool in 1856, opened on Carillon Avenue in 1891. The chapel from Liverpool was moved to the new site. It was replaced in 1950 by the John Francis Cash Memorial Chapel.
At the corner of City and Parramatta Roads, a formal entrance to the university was established in 1865. Entrance gates were installed. 2 lodges were built. The Messenger's Lodge has been demolished, but the Gardener's Lodge survives.
The area between the entrance gates and the university was proclaimed Victoria Park in 1870. After more than a year of protests, the Victoria Park Bowling Club opened in 1892. The clubhouse and greens were removed in 1998.
The lake in the park, initially named Horse Pond, was formed in the 1930s after a stormwater channel to Blackwattle Bay was closed. To commemorate the 1964 Olympic gold medal for yachting, won by Bill Northam, an alderman on Sydney City Council, a representational sculpture of the yacht Barrenjoey was installed on the island in the centre of the lake. At the same time, the lake was renamed Lake Northam. In the 1990s, the lake was enlarged and a bridge, which had previously been demolished, was reinstated.
The Victoria Park swimming pool was built in 1953.
Parramatta Road, Sydney's oldest arterial road, runs through the suburb. It is where public buildings, shops and hotels were erected. The 1887 Town Hall was located on the corner of Mallet Street, formerly Park Street. Between the Town Hall and Australia Street was Bennett's Coach Factory, the post office and public school, which opened in 1882. Today, Bridge Street School for specific purposes. The original post office was replaced, but today no longer occupies the building.
The Camperdown Hotel is on the site of the Honest Irishman Hotel, which was established in the 1850s.
The Captain Cook Hotel, built in the 1880s, was also known as the Student Prince Hotel. Today the site is Stiletto.
Enoch Fowler moved his pottery business from Parramatta Road Broadway to Australia Street. The Fowler family produced pipes, tiles, chimney pots and sanitary items. Enoch's son Robert built Cranbrook in Australia Street. His brother John built the house next door. The Fowler estate covered a large part of Camperdown. In 1920, the business moved to Marrickville. The old factory was demolished and a new building constructed. It was occupied by car manufacturers and dealerships. Today, part of the building has been retained in the gantry development.
In 1882, the foundation stone of St Joseph's Roman Catholic School Church was laid.
Land resumed for recreation became Camperdown Park. The Band Rotunda, built in 1888 and originally located in Hyde Park, was re-erected at Camperdown in 1911. The war memorial dates from 1921. Next to the park in Australia Street is the Portuguese Ethnographic Museum, opened in 1997 to promote Portuguese culture and its traditions.
The Royal Prince Alfred Hospital opened on 12 acres of land in the university grounds in 1882. It was named after the second son of Queen Victoria, who had survived an assassination attempt during a visit to Sydney in 1868.
King George V Hospital for Mothers and Babies, which opened in 1941, has been amalgamated with Royal Prince Alfred Hospital. Expanding from its original site, the hospital today occupies both sides of Miston Road.
The Alfred Hotel, opposite the hospital, was originally the Gross Farm Hotel.
Another hospital in the suburb was the Royal Alexandra Hospital for Children, which opened on Piermont Bridge Road in 1909. It was relocated to Westmead in 1995. The building is now apartments.
Church Street, like others in the suburb, has had name changes. Originally Camperdown Road, it became Church Street, then Leighton Street, before one section reverted to Church Street.
Two churches were located in the street: St Philip's Church of England, today St Andrew's Greek Orthodox Church. A congregational church, now demolished, was on the corner of Brodie Street, which is now located between two multi-storey buildings.
The Buddhist library on the corner of Dunblane Street was the site of an 1890s temperance hall.
The Alexandra dwellings, built in 1927 on Piermont Bridge Road, were semi-detached pairs of houses.
The Joanna O'Day Court Council flats were built adjacent to them in the 1960s. Joanna was the wife of Ernest O'Day, a Lord Mayor of Sydney.
Today, 4 of the Alexandra dwellings have been demolished to build common ground affordable housing.
The Camperdown Velodrome was constructed in 1968 on a former tip site. When the velodrome moved to Tempe, the O'Day Reserve was created.
By the late 1970s, many of the older factories had closed or relocated. Buildings were adapted for other uses.
Allsbrook's biscuit factory opened in 1891. It became Joyce's Biscuits in 1920 and was taken over by Weston's in 1951. The last biscuit rolled off the production line in 2004. Today, a residential development between Lyons Road and Bar Street.
In 1911, Grace Brothers bought the Vintner Company, a small furniture removals and storage firm operating from a site in Mallet Street. The venture quickly prospered and became Sydney's foremost removals company. The 1942 building in Mallet Street is now commercial office space.
The Bonds factory, built in 1918 in Mallet Street, is now part of the University of Sydney. The Chesty Bond image can still be seen on the tower portion of the building.
The Royal Prince Alfred Allergy Unit is located in a 1902 engineering factory in Leighton Street.
The former Dairy Bell ice cream warehouse still stands in Australia Street. A nearby mural acknowledges the company.
The Alpha Engineering premises is now Church Street Studios, home to a variety of music, sound and film businesses.
The Sugar Mill, a terraced home and apartment development in Gibbons Street, was a 1930s warehouse. It was originally owned by the Australasian Transport and Shipping Agency, then by Southern Cross Supplies.
The rundown suburb of the early 1900s and industrialisation of Camperdown has disappeared. Today, terraced housing, converted warehouses and factories make up the residential part of the suburb. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel, it's free. Coming soon, Erskineville, a gentrified suburb with working class roots. and check out our website, stpeterscooksriverhistory.wordpress.com.